You can support the creation of these videos by supporting me at patreon.com/John D. Ruddy. I was there, man, when it all started. Following the hype, collecting all the merch, and getting Pokemon Blue for Christmas, and indeed, catching them all. I'm here to help you build your own Pokedex. What do I mean by that? We are going to draw every single Pokemon. Yes, there's over 1,000 of them now. We're going to do it. Not only will you learn to draw Pokemon, but you'll also learn loads of great skills for drawing cartoons and drawing people that you can bring into your own illustrations. You can start your collection with a ring binder and some Polly Pockets, or if you just want to draw, you'll need simple printer paper, a pencil, I prefer a HB or 2H because we're going to be rubbing these lines out later, an eraser, and some sort of pen or a fine tip liner, and indeed some colourful markers for the end product. Come along and join as we try to draw them all. Hello folks, you're all welcome back to Draw Your Own Pokedex, and today we are going to be drawing Magikarp, and indeed Gyarados. Gyarados is one of my favourites. I know, because I'm basic, but still. So, first of all we're going to do the quick draw. So, I keep saying so. So with Magikarp, we can start off with the mouth like this. So it's kind of like this weird, it's got a little dimple there, and it's the same shape inside it. That's the lips and the little tongue inside. Now we got the big old tendrils like that on one side, and that on the other side. Because it's basically a big, it's a carp. And famously one of the most useless Pokemon. But it evolves into something wonderful. Okay, so it kind of goes around like that. You can do the eye here. Just looking blankly. Cool! And then we got one of his fins. So his fin comes out like this. And this is what I love about Magikarp as well. Basically his head is Gyarados's. You know, when you see, there's obviously Gyarados has a lot more kind of cool spikes and stuff, but you can see the makings of Gyarados in Magikarp, because I saw there was someone trying to argue that in the way that there was a Blastoise, that Blastoise was evolved from a different Pokemon that they later dropped and just made Blastoise the evolution of Squirtle and Wartortle, and got rid of the evolution of Wartortle. And suggesting that Gyarados was the original evolution of Dratini and Dragonair, which at a surface level kind of makes sense if you kind of look at, they're both kind of big, long, snake-like dragons, and also very much dragon, even though Gyarados is not dragon type. Last time I knew he was flying in water. Unless they changed it. Maybe they changed it. I'll have to go check. But no, I mean, you can see, because they did that too with that Venomoth. And basically, Caterpie would go into Metapod, would then become Venomoth. And Venonat would become Butterfree, which explains why Venonat looks like Butterfree, if you think about it. And yeah, I just blew some minds there. And now for Gyarados. So, I'm going to do Gyarados down here. This space here. Okay. So, Gyarados starts off the same way as Magikarp. Except we'll do him a wee bit smaller. So, we'll do his lips. It's like that. It's a weird kind of shape. It's a weird shape. And then teeth. And a round shape like that for the mouth. And you can even see the back of his throat too. And the back of his mouth like that. And he's got big old nostrils. Like that. And we can actually do the big old 3-pronged crown or crest on his head. And the eyes. I was think Gyarados looks like the Hydra design from Disney's Hercules. It's got that same kind of mouth. And I also used to love drawing that. But yeah, it's got these cool kind of spines. It's like it's all these armored kind of... They're not spikes, but they're big kind of lumps come out. And so check this out, look. It's just like Magikarp's little fin. But yeah, that's what the point that I was making is, like, you can see there is actually a design element between Magikarp and Gyarados, as opposed to you know, yeah, you can see a basic design with Dragonair, but when you actually look at the shape of Dragonair's face, that is the shape of Dragonite's face, you know. So I will talk about that more when we get to those guys at a later date. So, oh, and then the other tendril, now it might disappear from behind the lip, that's okay. And the other fin. Oh my god! And see, you can see where the similarities lie between the two. But of course, that's not where we end our Gyarados, is it? He's got this big eye. So the first nodule is this weird kind of armored thing with a wee bit out the side. Most of the rest of them are a bit more straightforward. It's a good way of drawing a worm as well. Now the one down here, because we'll be seeing the top of it, we can do another little spike on it, like that. And up here too, actually, you can have one of those as well. And then bringing it back down. And then the tail goes like that, goes like that, goes like that, and then just finally, little details, the marks for his belly. And the marks on his back. So it's not on that first one, but all the others, they have this. Shazam! And now for the long draw. So we got that. And now got a new page. Got our template. Out of curiosity, let's have a look to see how. Oh, speaking of Venonat and Venomoth, let's see. Where are they? Huh. Ah, there we go. That's not bad. Let's see first. Magikarp, I mean, That's as good as you're gonna get, really. That's a pretty good Magikarp in comparison to that Tauros. We'll work on Tauros when we get there. And then that's a pretty good Gyarados. So, although I don't think, because I'm pretty sure the picture that I based all of these on was like a tiny picture. It was like about that size. So this was me kind of blowing them up. That was part of the reason why I wanted to draw them. I wanted to see the pictures bigger. And we didn't just have Google image search back then. Yeah, I couldn't see that these were two separate nodules. So that's interesting. We can certainly improve on this, but that is pretty good. And let's see, we also have this one. So this was all 251 Pokemon in one picture. And there's Gyarados there. Up in the waterfall. Oh no, I can spread it all out here. There we go. And let's see, Magikarp. There's Magikarp skipping up the waterfall to become another Gyarados, because indeed that does happen in Pokemon Snap, and I think it's part of an old Japanese legend about this carp that hops into a waterfall and becomes a dragon. So I think that's where the basis of Magikarp and Gyarados comes from. But yeah, no, Magikarp is just hilariously useless. Famously useless. Splash. Although I think I saw there's some kind of new thing where you can like supercharge a Magikarp or something. Let me know in the comments. I don't know that one for sure, and I don't know the details, but I certainly want to know, so let me know. Magikarp is number 129. Magikarp. There's a great mini game in Pokemon Stadium. Pokemon Stadium, there it is. Where you had to make a whole pile of Magikarp, just jump and jump and jump and jump and jump and just keep jumping. And it was all about timing. So like if you just like press jump, 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 it would just flop about. But if you could get him to, let's see, I'll just take Clefairy for now. You could get him to, if you were just like tapping jump, 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 you just Dop. But if you could time it just right, you go jump, 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 and you get a tall one. But if you timed it just right, just as he lands, you could get like this fast jump where like do. But you had to time it right, otherwise if you hit it too quickly, he'd flop about. But yeah, Magikarp. That was a fun little mini game. Now, okay, so for Magikarp's actually in two main sections. Actually, I'll get rid of our little template in behind here. Just handy. Okay. So, Magikarp's actually in two sections. You're like, isn't that just like one? Yeah, it depends what angle you're looking at. You're drawing him from. Because if you're drawing him from like right on the side, then yes. But from this angle, he's actually kind of got two bits. His head bit and then the body bit. And the body's slightly, it's a squashed circle. So for that, just rub out some of these spare lines. You'll sometimes hear I put my pencil into my mouth when I'm talking. Let's see now. So we'll just, so the mouth's going to go here. It's like kind of a rectangle with roundy edges. And the eye's going to go here, just an oval, very straightforward. And so the fin is going to go here. The little tendril thing, the whiskers almost, are going to go here. It's like a catfish. So I can actually just bring that one right down. Like that. May as well. So then the other one, it'll be coming out of there. That's why they call them catfish, because they've got the big whiskers. And then underneath here we got the bottom fin, and up above we've got top fin, which again is very much like Gyarados. And so you can see here, like, so I've just drawn that little circle, so that's where that is. This circle here is actually just where it's just on the other side. So this is where the fin's going to be actually attaching, although we don't actually see that. You know, that makes sense. Nice big. Big fins. I think this could maybe be a little bit higher. Likewise here. Okay. And so, and then finally, it's the tail is going to be coming out there, but again, we're not going to see it where the tail comes out. But it's always kind of good to have an idea where it's working. Actually make this side fin a little bit bigger. And on the body here, there are some nodules and a couple of scales. The scales aren't like in a perfectly uniformed shapes, but yeah. So that's basically your Magikarp. And you got two little lines here. I'm just going to rub out some of the lines that we don't need now, just so we can see a wee bit more clearly what we're doing, and also what lines we are drawing over and which ones we're not drawing over. Okay. Now the bottom one as well here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, for the top of his head, it kind of has a little flap like this. It's like when you see on an actual carp or a goldfish. It's like just this little kind of cap. Caps it all off. Just make this a little bit bigger. None of these spikes are like pointy. You know, they've got nice kind of rounded edges. Now, for the lips. So, now we did a simpler way on our quick draw, but watch this. So the way this will be a wee bit clearer when we actually do our trace it out. But what's going on here is we're actually not seeing all of the lips. So I'll just rub this out here so you can see nice and clearly. So the edge of this circle here, the lip is just going to disappear behind it. So basically kind of suggesting, you know, that the mouth wraps around and we actually can't see this side of that. So, let's get some lines drawn, shall we? In fact, I'll actually start there just so you can really see what I'm talking about. Yeah, this one really captures just the blank eye stare of a fish. And I think a lot of the other Pokemon kind of look to, you know, give their fish a little bit more character. Say like Goldeen. Whereas no, this one. In fairness, actually, Seeking does a good job of having that dead eye. But like it's this kind of black eye, so it's like kind of creepy and cool looking. Whereas Magikarp just looks so lame. He's just such a joke of a Pokemon. And rightly so. Even if he does evolve into Gyarados. Yeah, I've really been thinking about that whole thing of how I've not been able to replay any of my Pokemon games because of the save files. So, and I'd really want to do that. Although I'm wondering, would it be worth my while actually? Now I know they've since shot up in price and stuff, but would it be worth kind of looking to play like Ruby Red and like Heart Gold and Soul Silver? You know, the Game Boy Advance remakes, which are also like nearly 20 years old now. Hilarious. Okay. Yeah, Magikarp is... He's not too complicated, but he's not straightforward either. That one could be a wee bit thicker there, but we'll survive. Now, again, sometimes, you know, I've spoken about this before, where sometimes, you know, we're trying to get a shape to, like, say if I draw it like this and that fin just so fits right behind there, it's not important that they fit right behind each other in the way that I've drawn it. It all depends on the way that you've drawn it. So, like, just for example, like, say... You know, say you've drawn your mouth like that, and the tendrils going like that, and the rest of the thing. You know, now in this picture, the fin has kind of started down there, so I'd be like, right, okay, but it's not so much about trying to get it to match up and see the lip. I was like, right, well, if it starts down there, you know. You know, whereas say if I've drawn it, you know, like this, and I actually did the tendril much further down, I'm not going to start my fin all the way down here, because then the fin will be too low. So, you know, I might still try and get the fin. So in this picture, see the way the fin doesn't go underneath there because it's too high up. That's kind of what I mean, like, everybody's picture's gonna be slightly different with like wee bits and pieces in different places, but it's all about that it all makes sense in this one picture. You know, if it makes sense in your picture, because that's how we sometimes, like, if we draw characters, you say they're holding something, and they, you know, for copying an image, like, say they're holding a gun or something, and the gun comes up against the shoulder, and so you've drawn the gun in exactly the way that it is in the picture, but then it's weird, like the shoulder's weird, or I can actually show you a picture that I did of Akira. Well, technically it's Tetsuo, but very famous anime film. But the picture that I was doing, that I was copying, the shoulder fit underneath the gun, whereas then I drew the other shoulder afterwards, and it's this lovely big puffy jacket that he's wearing. But then whenever you look back at the whole thing, one shoulder looks tiny, the other shoulder looks massive, whereas what I really should have done was actually maybe even draw the other shoulder first, like the right shoulder first, and then draw the left shoulder puffier, you know? Also, do you like my roof? This is my roof. It's really cool. I love it. Right, so we're going to do a bit of colouring now. I mean, Magikarp, First and foremost, orange. It's lovely, big, stupid orange. Now, funnily enough, the orange that he is kind of darker than any of the oranges that I have, and I'm kind of wondering, oh god, but he's very much orange. He's not. So I'm hesitant to do what I did with, say, Moltres, where I added a bit of lipstick pink. I think if I'm going to settle, I will settle on an orange. Might even just do another layer of mandarin on top of it, but I want to make sure that this dude's orange because he is very much orange. He's a big goldfish. He's a big giant goldfish. And again, he's going to say it. We're following the flow. So, like, we're trying to imagine the 3D shape, and indeed, like these suggest it there. So we try to follow that kind of 3D shape as much as we can. I mean, obviously, you know, we'll not always be able to do it, but we're not just kind of coloring it in randomly. We're trying to follow the flow of the shape. Flail. I'm pretty sure actually that's where I learned the word flail. Was Pokemon from Magikarp, because he used flail and it was not very effective. Okay, let's see. I think Buttercup will be perfect for, yeah, Buttercup. Oh, I like that. Yeah, it just kind of warms up that orange a wee bit. I like it. Cold orange. Like it does happen, but it's just strange because orange is such a warm color. It's the concept of a cold orange. But yeah, learning about color is very important. I do not claim to be an expert in color. No way am I. But learning about color and how color works is really important too. I mean, there was a very, very long point, you know, when I was about kind of 11, 12, 13, 14, where I was like, I prefer to work in black and white, you know, because I was really good at working in black and white. But that's because black and white, when it comes to drawing, I would argue, is a lot easier. Not that it's better, but it's easier. And why is it easier? Because you've only essentially got one dynamic, you know, between black and white and all of the gray gradients in between. You know, you're not worried as much about warmth. You're not worried as much about how colors interact with each other, you know? All you're really thinking about is where's the light coming from, where's it light, where's it dark, and where can I emphasize. I'm going to use tea green for the... Now, if you don't have a color kind of subtle enough for this, just leave it white. There is my rose pink. Okay, so rose pink, initially I'm going to give rose pink a go on the lips. Just see what they look like. They look good. Yeah, and you know what? Once I actually add the shade, I think they will look more like the color that I wanted to. But again, going back to kind of what I was saying, that's, you know, learning how to use color properly. And learning how color works and how, you know, different shades of different colors will kind of work in different ways. Right here. Actually, I'm going to do a brown there, but then what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a bit of coral underneath it just to give it that slight warmth that I'm after. I think so. So there's that, and then, well, actually, do you know what? Rose pink over the top of it. We'll give it that pink look. Yeah, I like that. And do you know what? That shell's not dark enough. So I'll bring in Trusty Slate, which has that wee tinge of purple, which is what I like. Alright, let's see. I might use my antique pink here for the shading. It's a little bit too pink for what I'm looking for. That's okay for now. I think I might stick with coral. Yeah, that's good. Now, for the shading. Oh yeah, that was something I meant to do earlier. I forgot. Now, I'm just happy enough to do this kind of freehand. Just another little scale detail. Now, because I did that, I'm just going to give that a wee bit of time to dry. So I will start off over here. Put all these guys in shade first. So again, we're getting that roundish, you know, and showing, and see the way that shape is following that line there, because again, we're following that shape of Magikarp. Okay, and do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a little bit of grey. A little warm grey, because I just want to cool down this brown a little bit. It's slightly too warm. It was okay. This will just mightn't look like it's doing anything, but it just kind of takes the time, and as the ink begins to set, you know, kind of just softens up what's going on there. Okay, there's that, and finally the shade on. Oh, I can actually use warm grey for this too, I think. Yeah. Now for the fins, for the shading on the fins, I'm actually going to use something slightly different for that. It's sitting right here in front of me. It's going to be sort of similar to what I did with Lugia, but I'm actually going to use purple for the shading. And I want purple, but as it sets, it will make sense. Okay. And there we have Magikarp. Here's 129, so Gyarados is 130. It's a weird spelling, Gyarados. I don't think I ever worked out where that name came from specifically. Let me know in the comments. Because there's loads of like Magikarp. It's a magic carp. I get it. Number 130. Ah! Maybe that is. I think Gyar might. think I've been spelling Gyarados wrong my entire life. Actually, did I spell it right here? Because I kind of feel like I have just learned how to spell Gyarados. Oh no, Gyarados. Because I was about to say it, like I was wondering why is it because I was always until I heard it pronounced in the show, I was pronouncing it Gyarados. But yeah, Gyar probably means something in Japanese. I'm guessing. Probably maybe should have googled that beforehand, John. Oh well, you can tell me. Let me know in the comments. So, to do Gyarados, first of all, we're going to work out how big Gyarados is going to be on our page. Want it to be kind of nice and big, because it's big and impressive. So, we're going to have the head here. Okay. And then the body is just going to loop around like this. So, let's see, let me just... No, that's the bottom of the body. Let's see. And we can actually have that go right into its tail, funnily enough. And then we can do all of the things. But we just want to see how big it's going to be first. And you know, Gyarados' head is very big. Like it's long on the top, but then it stretches down at the bottom. Gyarados looks really weird with his mouth closed. He sometimes did it in Pokemon Stadium. And it looked very strange. So for Gyarados, we can start initially just with his mouth. I always start with Gyarados' mouth. And this kind of a shape. Little teeth. And little teeth. And little teeth. The inside of the mouth. I'm just going to rub out some lines here so you can see. The inside of the mouth is... Do you know what? Actually, this is a mistake I often make with Gyarados. His top lip is actually a lot longer than his bottom lip. And that's kind of what... So this bit is actually... Because, you know, you're tempted to just make them the same length. But this bit is actually a lot longer than that. And that's kind of what gives Gyarados kind of part of its terrifying kind of look, I think. And so for the wee nose. Do you know what? For now, we're just going to do two wee circles like this, just so we get the size. And then we can do our big head crest. So the big head crest goes up 1, 2, 3 like that, one straight. I mean, I say straight up in the middle, but it's straight up for its head, but because we're seeing it at an angle, it's going up at an angle. And we can just do a guideline of where his wee eyes are. Now, his head whiskers come out like that. And it actually goes in behind his head there. And his head fin. That. And likewise the other side, we're barely gonna see it. That's gonna pop out over here. You could take this this design and apply it very much to drawing like Chinese dragons, because it's very, very similar kind of design style, except well, Chinese dragons are a bit more lionish, a bit hairier, but still, you know, there's a lot of that kind of. The head's the trickiest part of Gyarados. His body's actually very easy, but the head is tricky just because it's a very specific shape. Like it's got the back of the head there, but then dips right down, and then it's got these weird things that stick out the side. And then, let me see the skull. We can just make sure. There's a little ridge on the front of the middle one, so it goes up like that, and then goes down. It gets a wee bit thicker at the back, and then the other one will come right out. We don't want them too big either, but we don't want them too small either. Yeah, that works. Do a little circle there just for the eyes. As I said, very much like the Hydra in what do you call it? Disney's Hercules. So this next nodule, again, this is kind of one. I'm actually going to give him a wee bit more of a hunch, I think. Will I? Yeah. There's a real kind of hunched aspect to Gyarados. So this next nodule will be kind of about this size here. It's not perfectly round like the others either, because it's got this kind of fin shape that comes out. And then watch this, so that this fin here comes out halfway through, so it's not like tied up along the top of the shape, like it's not along the edge of the shape, because we're seeing it at an angle, so we're seeing this side of it and that side of it. Okay, now, so going down here, we should aim to have like kind of about five nodules kind of between here and there, so we can even kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, remember, you know, if we know this the size of the number, and if it's an odd number, that means there's a thing in the middle. There's one in the middle, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5, roughly spaced pretty well. But of course, they're not perfect circles. You know, they're actually they kind of fold into each other like this. And then you can use this for like drawing any kind of worms or any kind of big old snake things. There we go. Now again, we could have done that freehand. I mean, like we did do that. We did do it freehand in the quick draw. Actually, do you know what? I might even thicken out the body here, because it looks like it starts off skinny and it gets thicker. Whereas I actually don't want that to be the case, so I'm just gonna thicken out the top bit of the body here, like that. Should make sense. Yes, I like that. Yeah, there we go. And then up to here we should have 4, I think. So there's our last one. Now, an even number is a little bit trickier to do, because again, you just have to try and fit them in. There's a way to do it, but you have to eyeball it a bit more. So. But yeah, like I suppose this is kind of tricky in its own way. I'm kind of taking it for granted here, but I mean, it's a whole pile of circles. I don't think it's all that complicated. Now we can do the wee. He's got another fin on the back here. That one will pop out like that. They're kind of uneven, like they're not kind of perfect. That's what I like about them. And same actually, he has one up here too. Now it's where it's attached is hidden on the back, so we don't need to worry about doing that. Now towards the end, another 4 here. So 1, 4. So then we got 1, 2. Rather than go 1, 2, 3, 4 and then running out of space, you know. And each one of these gradually gets smaller. And then finally, just a couple of last little things. Oh, there's an extra little line in here. It's got very dramatic cheekbones, and we can just do his nose a wee bit more, his wee nostrils. This will be a little bit clearer to see once we actually do the thing. Julie, do the thing. So the belly marks, they just go along like that. Now watch this. And of course, they're staying to the bottom, but watch this. There's actually a little curve in it from this angle, which I think is kind of cool. All creates that 3D shape. And then likewise, these wee marks on the back. Thicken this one up a little bit. And likewise, these ones have a little bit of a curve to them as well. Not too much. Funnily enough, there aren't too many sharp edges on Gyarados either. You know, it's a fairly curvy, like the only real kind of angles would be up here, and even at that, there's a lot of kind of soft edges going on. But anyway, there's Gyarados. Awesome. I love Gyarados. So, we will start with the mouth. Is a little bit, there's a little bit of a lip. Yeah, we can do that tooth there. And the other tooth, watch this, because we can actually see the bottom of the tooth, we can actually curve the bottom of it. But look, is a little bit of a lip that just gives him a wee bit. And again, in here too, just dents in a little bit. These subtle little design choices. So that line comes into just over where the tooth is. Watch this. There's another line there. That's the other side of his bottom lip. And then the big tongue. The back of his throat. And now another little classic thing to anime is the little flicks. Now it's not exclusive to anime, but it's very common in anime. So for this eye, let's see, his pupil, and then his other eye. See the way this eye is actually a bit lower than where it had it at it. But that's fine. Some people's always kind of, it's always kind of looking down a little bit because he's always so high up, so it makes sense he's always looking down. Now there's some nice kind of curves that go on in the skull as well. Oh. Cheekbones. Wonder, does he contour? So it's a Gyarados. I choose you. Do you imagine Gyarados being a starter Pokemon? Some crack. Any non-Irish viewers watching, you're like, what? Some crack? What? Crack is a phrase. It just kind of means like fun, or devilment, or madness. Somewhere's good crack. It's good fun. It has nothing to do with anything else that goes by the name of crack. I think from the Irish word cracklecha, which means crazy. I can have a little extra line up there. But like that one in Zapdos, I'm just going to have to live with this line here. No, when I brought it down in there, it just, the head just seemed too detached from this nodule, so just kind of made that bigger at the back. That works better. And watch it. Some of these last remarks, they almost kind of start tucking in underneath. It's Gyarados. So, coloring. Yeah, I think Buttercup is the winner. Okay, so I got that. Yeah, that gray-green might work for... maybe as a base for up here. Do you know what? Yeah, because I'm gonna shade it with a much stronger color, and it'll actually help the color pop out. Let's see what Coral is like. I know Coral's bang on for that tone color. Now his eyes. It's purple. I need to find a stronger purple for that. There we go. There we go. Petal blue is what I was after for this. Now, this guy is a tricky enough one to shade, just given how you can't just use all the one color to shade him. Excellent. Now, for the shading of this, I'm actually using violet. You know, you're like, why aren't you using like a blue or something? But this is the perfect. It's just got this almost kind of, gives them this kind of fluorescent quality. And again, the shadows help to tell the story of the shape of the face. Alright, so I'll be continuing that line of shading onto the yellow, but obviously this is not the color to be going onto the yellow for. But again, we're maintaining that curve. I was thinking the back of him looked a little bit bare. Yeah, see how much darker it is there compared to there? Just shows you how it dries. Now you'll see now how all these shades are connected. Guys, that's entirely in shade there. Yeah, so we continue on those lines. And there we have it. There's our Gyarados, and that's pretty cool. I'm very pleased with that. Now, we won't be doing Mega Gyarados today. I want to do like a kind of a mega episode or two later on. But also I kind of want to concentrate on. Oh, they turned out pretty well. They're cool. Excellent. So, let's get them in our folder. Ah, here's our quick draw, so we can fire our quick draw in at the back. Oh, hi guys. Oh, these are legendary birds. Turn on. Alright, episode 7. Class. And now let's go back. So let's see. Oh, there's our Ho-Oh, Lugia, Pichu, Moltres, Zapdos. And yeah, this is where it'll go. Now, because Magikarp is a odd number, that goes on this side, and then flip it over, and Gyarados. That Gyarados looks great right there beside Articuno. Actually, they're a good comparison too, because they're both kind of, you know, that kind of light bluey color, but very different kind of ways of shading, you know. So you get the icier colors of Articuno, but Gyarados is very much the water, you know. And indeed, let's go back. Oh, I love going through all my old pictures. They're great. And of course, we need to mark off our... Oh yeah, we didn't do... forgot to mark off Ho-Oh and Lugia the last day. So we'll do that here too. So we got Lugia and Ho-Oh. They're done. And... right. Magikarp and Gyarados. Sweet! Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. As a little series announcement, after a couple of weeks of putting these up on my John D. Ruddy Does Stuff channel, I have decided to migrate this series to my main channel. Partially because I want more people to see these videos, and also because I am technically making these for free. Yes, there is Patreon money coming in, and you can support me on patreon.com, but it's not enough at the moment. Please, by all means, come and support me on Patreon, but I can't afford to put it out onto a smaller channel, so I'm putting it out on my main channel. So that means it'll be there right up alongside Manny Man Does History, and you can go and enjoy it there. So this will be the last episode that I will be posting here on John D. Ruddy Does Stuff. So please pop over to just John D. Ruddy and subscribe. I want to see the pictures that you have drawn, so send them on. Tag me on TikTok or Threads or Instagram, wherever. I would love to see what you draw, so I can share it here and give shout outs. Your ongoing support is so important, so much so that, like, I'm considering the future of this series, not just this series, because this is only just a new series, but Manny Man Does History. I've been making it for 10 years now, and these economic times have been very, very difficult. So I want to be able to continue making these because A, I really enjoy making them. You know, I love making them. But B, I love providing educational material for people. I love doing these drawing tutorials for people so people can learn new drawing techniques, but also history with Manny Mando's history. It's so important for people to learn about history, and I want to continue to be able to do that. These videos are shown in so many classrooms across the world. So if you're a teacher out there, or if you're anyone, if my videos have helped you pass your exams and you have some disposable income to send my way, it is hugely appreciated, because right now, financially channel wise, it's not doing all that well. I'm going to be honest. Algorithms have changed. The channel hasn't seen any growth really since before COVID. I got over 200,000 subscribers in like about 2017 or 2018, and it's more or less stagnated. Yeah, fair enough, there's like 50,000 since then, but like it has more or less stagnated since then. So even though you might look at subscribers and go, oh geez, he's nearly 250,000 subscribers, he's doing really well, it's not an equivalent of they have loads of subscribers, therefore they've got loads of money, because I don't. Yeah, sure, I've got a whole pile of this kind of paraphernalia and stuff around me. I have gathered this over the years. Most of these DVDs, except for like a couple of the new Marvel ones, but like most of these DVDs are 10, 15 years old. Most of these books are 10, 15 years old, that I bought when I had money. Now I have a baby, I have a house. Yes, and again, in a world where so many people are struggling to get a house. That being said, I lived in a shed for a year and a half while I was... You saw it in some of the previous videos. Like, we were living in here for a year and a half. And again, I am so much more lucky than some. But if I want to continue to be able to making these videos, I need your support. I really, really do. So that would be hugely appreciated. And just remember, I am Kenough.